our first demo here in the group is I'm going to demonstrate a few of Dexter's core movements to work on both his inner core here and then his back end awareness. So the reason we're doing this is, one, he's a senior dog, but two, he also has, you know, his neurological condition. So that means he's a little draggy in the back end. He's not quite aware of the back end all the time. And when he gets his wobbles, then he sometimes would fall. So our exercises are always trying to build up that core strength and always trying to build up that awareness. Okay, he's like, let's go, let's go. So I'm just going to demonstrate just some of the things that we do. He does a lot of different exercises. I know, so I'm just going to do a few at a time. We can do more if you like it. What I'd like to do, I think, at the end, not at the very, very end, he's going to knock that camera over, but is I think there's a place below that you can upload your own videos. So if you've done these exercises before with your own dog, or you're going to give it a go and give it a try, I'd like you to upload it so we can take a peek and see your dogs working too. So I just pulled out some of the equipment. That's part of the reason why I had to get going early, was because Dexter saw it and he's doing this, like, let's go. So, but we're going to do one at a time. So we're going to start. What I always recommend is 2 feet up. He's following all of his pieces of equipment, like, let's go, let's go. So with all of his exercises, I shouldn't say all of them, but a majority of his exercises, can you see him? Let's see, can you see him over there? We're going to spin it next time so I can see. But did you see how he put his 2 feet up on his perch over there? Well, we're going to teach him how to do that right now. Well, not teach him, but maybe teach your dogs. Because that's the beginning of a lot of the things that we do with him. He's like, I want to go. One of Dexter's things that I'm always working on besides all his core is actually having him slow down. Because as you can see, he's quite the catty, wampus little monkey. So I'm going to take one more peek on the camera, see if that's lined up right. I wonder if you're seeing that. Or hearing that. Did you just hear that ding over there? All right, so I can see his, and feel free to comment too. I see that, again, I have a little bit of a lag, but I will come back and respond to the comments. So I'm going to see if I can, no, I want to scoot it up. Scoot it back, turn it down. So we're going to try to point, there we go. Is that a little better for that footwork? Okay, so with Dexter, ever since he was a puppy, it was always teaching him to step on things, look at things, go over things, investigate things, you know, building up that confidence. So when he got the take-home instructions of needing to work on his core and his strength, it was actually pretty easy because he was very comfortable about doing all these things. So your dog may go a little bit slower. I might use Haru, Christy's dog, in a couple demonstrations, and then maybe in the summer we'll use Aria. But what you want to start with is something stable, and what I have here is, these are actually those foam squares you get in the kids section, just cut, and there's 4 of them. And I'm going to start putting it, and he's like, we were doing head work here too. So he's getting very frustrated because he's trying all the things that he's learned to do and nothing's paying off. Are you ready? So maybe I set up the equipment before I bring Dexter next time. So what I start with at the beginning is I want to make sure that I'm holding this so it doesn't fall. And then I take the food by their nose and I'm slowly going to lure over. And then, yes, as soon as that paw goes on there, I'm going to yes and treat. If he's a brand new dog and this is completely new, I want to reward often and I want to reward a lot of things. So even if he put his paw here and he didn't land on that, I'm still going to yes and treat. I'm still going to let him know how smart he is. So we're going to come up here. Yes. Again, if he was new, I'd be yesing, yes, and treat. And this by itself might take a while, you know, depending on your dog and how comfortable they are about learning things. This could be a while before they get really comfortable at this. So we're going to lure back up here. And again, new dog, I would yes and treat. And if the new dog's up like that, what you can do with that food, oops, kibbles are dropping, is you can take that food and you can push his head back by luring the food back. So I'm taking the food and I'm pushing back, and that's going to bring that dog back that way. Ready? So we're going to come back up here. Good job. Yes. Good job. Okay. And one of the things that I recommend and I did with Dexter is once they're up here, the 2 feet on, and they get comfortable doing that, then doing that with different items. And you'll see when we start working on our other equipment, there's no treats up there. So that they're used to being able to do that with other items as well. And did you see his bobbles? I don't know if you saw some of his bobbles. So once they're comfortable doing that, then we can really start working on some of those back end exercises. So we're gonna bring him up here. Now I have a really tiny one because does pretty well with it. It could be too small. You could do a bigger one. I have a bigger one as well. Oh, because I don't want that. I don't know if you can see. There we go. We see him getting a little flippy. So I'm going to reinforce him for being stable. Yes. And again, with Dexter, it's about settling him down. Sometimes I even put on his regular harness, which is really light, so I can kind of hold on to him so that he doesn't move around so much. He gets so excited. Good job. And I'm just coming back here and grabbing more food. I should probably just put it in my pocket. All right, so once we're up here, I'm going to go ahead and get the bigger one. So I do have a bigger one. He's like, what do I step on? That gives him, it's a little wider. And this one's actually 1 piece shorter, so it won't flip around as much with this cattywampus dog. I'm going to move it a little bit, though. See, I need to slow him down. We're going to come up here. All right, so now we're going to pivot. So I'm going to stop. What he's going to do is he's going to keep 2 feet on that perch, and his back feet are going to move. So I'm going to go this way, which is the opposite way I normally start. And I'm going to hold the food here and walk towards his butt. So do you see how his legs were walking? Now he's sitting, so I want to stand him up again. Goodness gracious. It's 15 degrees here, and our heat is blaring. So I'm going to turn that down. Holy hotness. Hot, 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 hot. Of course, it doesn't help it. I do have the lights here so you can see him. Alright, so, alright, we'll bring that over here. Slow him down. Goodness, I think he also knows when he's on camera. Good job. So I'm going to food to his nose so that I can keep him over the perch and walk towards his butt. And that will help move his back end. Walk towards his butt, and then he moves that back end. And that is building that strength in that back end, but it's also building that awareness in that back end. So we're going to slow him down here. We're going to walk towards the butt. And at the very beginning, you might have to, let me see if I can show. Cattywampus, where's Haru? All right. Again, Dexter's pretty, you wouldn't think he's 10 years old, right? All right, so at the very beginning, I might have to show you. I might have to take my legs here, come here, and almost walk into them a little more like that. And I didn't mean to use my knee, just that height of him, so that I'm walking towards that butt to kind of encourage that move. Okay, and you can do that without the perch too. Easy, settle down. And then as they get better, you won't have to do so much luring. So like once he's up there, let's see, I can walk towards that butt. Good job. Good. Yes. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. Yes. And part of Dexter, the food's out. He doesn't get rewarded as much anymore because he knows how to do these things. So sometimes the food tends to be a big distraction for him. I also grabbed the meat food, which is a higher value. A lot of times I use his veggies. So we want to do both sides as well. So you want to get him walking on the other side. So go ahead and get that. Easy does it. And if we are dealing with back issues or trying to keep them safe, again, slowing down Dexter, right? Which is why sometimes he wears his harness and he gets too excited. Okay, so that's one of them with the perch. Yay, get up here. And again, you can work on fading your body as a lure and having them do it just by words. So you can say, you know, pivot. That tends to be the common word, where pivot means to front feet somewhere and go into that circle. And then you can even fade this, not even having this. Just that pivot means front feet are going to be down and the back end is going to go in a circle. whatever you want to work on. So once they know how to do this, we can incorporate that. I almost threw it. He probably would have gone and picked it up. You can incorporate that into other things. So Dexter's default behavior when it comes to props is 2 feet on. So if I throw in a brand new thing without telling him anything, although we've done this equipment, his first thing is let's put 2 feet on. So I'm just going to check the camera here angle. And yep, we're back a little bit. So hello friends, I see you on the camera, but not on the... Yes, I need to move him away. Oh, I do see you up there now. Okay. Yay. So now this one is going to be different too, because can you see the wobble? Do you see how it's kind of got a little bit more of a wobble? The more blown up, let's bring this here. The more blown up this is, the more of a wobble and the more challenging it's going to be. So I did bring a lower one. We've got different ones that are higher too. So obviously you're going to start. And if it's new, again, for your dog, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to, that we did before, you're going to bring it up close to you so that you can hold it. Food here, and then lure back. Good job. You want to make sure for most dogs that you're not right here, that you're kind of giving them that distance that they can move in. Because if I'm over here luring, although Dexter wouldn't care because he doesn't care about space, but they might be looking like, there's no space for me to go. But by here, we're going to lure back. Good job. And again, getting them comfortable on that prop. So with Dexter, okay, up, up. Good job. We can again do that pivot. And so not only is he working that back end, we're working that core. And the core is really important too, because if they're going to slip, you know, they're kind of getting that, I know, food. They're kind of getting that wobbliness. If they have that strong core, they're going to be less likely to actually slip. So it gives them that chance to kind of grab and catch themselves, a little less likely to pull legs and injury and things like that. That's what our rehab vet said for him. Oh, I should have said at the beginning, right? You want to make sure everything's okay with your vet and your dog. So, you know, if you do have any issues with your dog's body, I might do a quick run by of the exercises you want to try with your dog, with your vet. And always keeping an eye on your dog to see if things look comfortable. Again, with Dexter, it's about settling him down so he doesn't pull something while we're trying to do this. With that, we'll work on some other things in the future if you want to see some more, but we actually have a second one of these that's the same size, and we do 2 and 2, meaning that he does 2 feet up here and 2 feet on the other one too. That's definitely a very big core, so that's really working out that core muscle. But we're going to kind of just work on trying to just focus on the back end today. So the back end and core. Core always comes into it. So, all right. So the next one we're going to do is, again, 2 feet up. Right? Is, and I'm a big one. I'll give links to these things and also to the article I wrote with Dexter's Rehab Vet. Is I'm always looking at the dollar store, the Walmarts, you know, all those things to see what I can do. So this is one of those back rollers for people that you put up on your back. So I was like, okay, you want to make sure. Okay, I'm going to look one more time with this camera because he's going to actually walk. All right, he's going to actually do a walk on it. So I'm going to put it between my legs so that it doesn't roll and have him get on it. So, and again, slow Dexter down. So we're going to come up here, 2 feet on, and at the beginning, this might be all that you're doing with your dog. I want to try to get him as straight as possible. He's kind of sideways. So I'm actually going to move him. All right. So here, I'm going to let him do this. Okay. Woohoo! Ready? So we're going to start over again. This one's hard. I should have started with the other one. So my foot, he's like, cattywampus, cattywampus. And this is why we call Dexter our silly monkey. And with, you know, some dogs who are really nervous, you don't want this flipping around on them so that they spaz out and get scared. And I see it wasn't even in the video very well. So, again, that video is behind. So we're going to come up here. I want to let it roll. Usually he does better. We do actually do this one. But I think because he's so cattywampus today with cameras, I tell you, he knows when I'm distracted. Good job. All right, so again, there's that core, there's that back end awareness, and I can see, you know, his muscles moving up here. If we're new, we can also do this. Ready? Or you come down here. I should probably do this a little more with Dexter, just instead of laying down on camera. Good boy. Ready? And you can kind of manipulate it yourself. Good job. Good job. So I'm just letting it kind of roll. Good job. So lots of balance, lots of core, lots of back end over here. Good job. And I know one of the comments yesterday was about enrichment. And anything that you're doing, and we'll do more on that stuff, but anything that you're doing with your dog that's entertaining them, moving their body and their mind, that's enrichment. So not only are these physical exercises for your dog, but it's also an enrichment exercise. So with it 15 degrees out today, these are great exercises for Dexter. And you see him panting. He's panting because it is a little warm in here, but also because he's getting a lot of food and he's getting himself worked up, right? So we need to settle down. So we have one more roller, and that's this one. Now the peanut, you can do lots of different things. So I don't know if we're in the camera, but one of the things that Dexter does is we do all four on there. But for this is we're going to do in the center, and we're going to walk just like we did that other one. So I just let it roll towards my feet. Good job. Yeah, good job. And Dexter eats 3 times a day, his meals. So his lunch, he's not probably going to get, but just a little token. And what I'm feeding him right now, I do a lot of dehydrated vegetables and stuff, but I did not have any. So what we're using right now is actually store-bought dehydrated, freeze-dried, quote, raw. So that, again, I can count it as his daily calories. I don't have to worry about that lunch. He's really getting it. Because I don't want to, good job, add too many calories to Dexter's diet. I want to make sure that we stay that nice lean body that he has. I know he's a big guy, and I say that he pushes 30 pounds, which he does. But, you know, last visit, he does quarterly visits for his blood work and everything because of his SM and his meds. The vet actually said he can gain another pound or two, so he was very happy with that because he was like 27. But we're trying to keep him on the leaner side because remember, too, the leaner the dogs are, the better it's going to be on their joints and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and close this out. I do have, I was going to do another exercise, but I think I'll work on backing up exercises in a different video. So if you want to see that, let me know. Again, it's all about you guys, so comment below what some of the things you want to see. And if you can post a video of you trying something with your dog, that would be great. I will, can we see Dexter? Oh yes, we're lagged behind. So the food's up over there, that's what he's doing. Go get yourself a drinky, hot dog. I will add some links to some of the things that we talked about and some products as well. And what you want to see, comment below, comment in the page. I'm willing to do whatever, and the slate is getting hot over here. But I was thinking maybe back up. So back up is one of the behaviors that I work on with Dexter as well. And it's teaching him how to back. And you can teach him how to back onto something. I don't know if you can see it over here. I put this here so that it's kind of on the ramp and he backs up to it. So that's working that back end as well. We can back up his steps and things like that. So thank you for joining our first live and joining our group. I think we're close to 100 members already, and it's been, what, 12 hours? So yay, thank you. So let me know, and hopefully you enjoyed this, and I do hope to see some of your videos. We'll talk to you later.